Okay, British Guiana was a British colony, part of the mainland British West Indies, which resides on the northern coast of South America. British Guiana, right there. And this area is mostly Jake. Okay, mostly Jake, so-called black men, live in British Guiana. Okay, it's a British colony. That's where Lynott's father was from. Hence the reason why he looks the way he does. He's a product of a so-called black father from British Guiana and a so-called white woman from, I believe she's from Ireland, if I'm not mistaken. Philomena. I want to get that straight. Philomena. His Philomena Lynott was an Irish author and entrepreneur. She was the mother of Thin Lizzy frontman Phil Lynott. That's her there. And by the way, that's the statue. She's posing in the front of a statue in Dublin, Ireland, of her son, Phil Lynott. That's how popular this guy became, fronting his band, Thin Lizzy. Like I said, that song was immensely popular. The Boys Are Back in Town. I remember it. I remember that's all you heard on the radio back then. And it came out in 1976. Oh, so she passed away. Okay, I didn't know that. All right, so Phil Lynott, right? So now you know his background. He's a Jake. Now check this out, right? This guy, Phil Lynott, he married this woman. Let me see if I can find it. I was looking it up just... right, Phil Lynott. What is this here? Hold on. Oh, man. He had a couple of daughters. And check out the way they look. All right, career. Let's see if I can find it. Matter of fact, you know what? I know what I'll do. Phil Lynott's daughters. He had 2 daughters. Okay. By the way, check it out. This is how popular this guy became. There's an actual statue of him in Dublin, Ireland. Right there. Look at that. Phil Lynott statue, Dublin, Ireland. A statue in the center of Dublin dedicated to one of their favorite sons of rock and roll, the so-called black man, Phil Lynott. How about that? That's how popular that guy was. Now, if I type in Phil Lynott's daughters, you're going to see his daughters. Because he married this woman. I forgot her name. That's his daughters right there. You see that? Look at that. Those 2 chicks are both his daughters. And look at the way they look. And that's just what? That's just one generation. All right, Phil Lynott. Matter of fact, let's get, see? There's Phil Lynott to the left and his daughters to the right. I want to
Shalom, 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 shalom. First, I want to give all the praises and the glory to Yahweh, which is the Most High God. Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, which is the Son of the Most High God. His name is ignorantly referred to as Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, shalom to my fellow Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. So I just really want to give a quick response to this video that beloved elder apostle Gabar put up, I think it was a couple of days ago. I don't know, just 13 hours ago. There you go. There's 13 hours ago. So Israelite foreigners, Phil Lynott, Ireland's favorite son. Now I always knew about Thin Lizzy, but I can honestly say this, I didn't realize that the head singer was a so-called Jake. I didn't know that because I wasn't probably into that rock music. But the song, boys are back in town, like Apostle Gabar speaks about. That song was absolutely famous. It was played everywhere when it came out. I can remember as a youth hearing that song all the time, and probably was singing it along with it, not even realizing that the head guy was a Jake, was an Israelite, Phil Lynott, basically. So I just kind of wanted to add a bit to this information that he was bringing out regarding the Israelite Gentiles. As we always tell you, the Lord is coming to separate the wheat from the tares, because Israelite is scattered and mixed amongst all of the nations. And as you can see quite clearly on there, that's Phil Lynott and his two daughters that you can see to the right on the screen. So when you hear, I've got it up, is it here? So when you hear nutcases like this, right? When you hear this nutcases like this so-called Israelite woman, because she might not even be an Israelite. She thinks she's an Israelite. She might not be an Israelite because she's got such a wicked spirit, this woman. All right. So when you hear people like this, that beloved brother Elder Manatta's about put up a video about Manatta's about put up a video about her recently. Let's have a quick listen to this nutcase so-called black woman.
Peace to the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. Listen up. Stop following those camps. Stop following those self-made street scholars that are preaching to our people that because you're from a region, that you are also a descendant of Israel. They have white people in their camps reading, thinking that they are a part of Israel. They're not.
So this is this nutcase here. He says that we have white people in our camp that we think are part of Israel, which are not. And as we can clearly show you, that your color of your skin does not determine if you're an Israelite or not. Listen to her one more time what she says, because she's a complete nutcase. This is what you call, I refer to these so-called black women as RWBs, right? So RBWs, the reliable black woman, right? Just talking pure nonsense, because she might not even be an Israelite. She thinks she's an Israelite, but she might not be an Israelite because she's got such a wicked spirit on her, such a horrible spirit, and you can feel it coming off of her when she speaks. She's got such a demonic spirit on her, so she might even be an Edomite who just looks like an Israelite, right? So she doesn't even know she's an Israelite. But it's
descendant of Israel. They have white people in their camps reading, thinking that they are a part of Israel. They're not. Abba Bivens and Ben Naphtali.
She thinks she's the Lord, that she knows. She knows who's Israel and who's not, right? Because we always tell it, it's always about trying the spirit by the spirit, all right? Romans 8:16, right? So what Apostle Gabar put up was a beautiful, perfect example of Israelites that we believe are Israelites in the spirit, but these are Israelites because we're not judging them by their color, what they look like, all right? Now, I was actually looking at an interview of these two sisters when they were speaking. They did an interview for the first time in their life, spoke about their father a few years ago, right? A couple of years ago, right? And this is the interview here. So these are the same two sisters, the same daughters of Thin Lizzy lead singer Phil Lynott, right? Was the lead singer of Thin Lizzy, all right, the group. That's the picture of their father on the back, all right? Ire is just another word for island. I think that's the Irish word for island, EIRE, if I can quite remember. And this is the first interview they ever done regarding their father and themselves and their father and who they are. They did this a couple of years ago, the two sisters. So just quick listen to these two sisters, all right? And just what grabbed me is what happens in the middle of this interview, all right? That's what kind of made me want to show you. And that's the spirit, you know, I'm not joking. That's the first time they've ever done an interview regarding their father. They never, ever spoke about their father in their lives in a live interview. And in the middle of the interview, the picture of their dad just drops off the walls. If the spirit just lifted him up, to, you know, as if he was reaching out to his daughters in the spirit. And that's what kind of took me from that. But like you say, you look at these two girls here, all right? You'd never think that they were. You'd never think, you'd look at them, you'd say, oh, well, not us, because we don't judge people by what they look. We judge them by the spirit, right? And you know, when you get these where is she gone? When you get these type of Negroes here, all right, that she might not be, that say, oh, these white people, da, da, da. There's no such thing as white people. They're so-called white people are Edomites, and yes, there's going to be many Israelites mixed amongst those white people, just like there's going to be many Edomites, right, mixed amongst us so-called black people, right? So we try the spirit by the spirit, and this is why we go by the spirit, basically, in that. But from what we know from our heritage, that they are definitely Israelites. So when you hear people like this buffoon here saying, "Oh, no, white people this, white people that can't be Israelites," because she's looking at the color, she's looking at the outward appearance, she's not judging it by the spirit. That's why this girl's going off. So Apostle Gabar did a beautiful video here in relating to that kind of thing. I just really wanted you to see and hear those two sisters speaking, so you can see who they were, so forth and so on. And I was kind of looking at the dad. Now, this is Thin Lizzy's father here. This is Thin Lizzy when he was born as a baby. This is his mum, Philomena, right? When they were young. He's from, just like Apostle Gabar said, British Guyana, that's where he's from. He met her in a dance hall, all right? And I'm going to show you. Now, this is his father today. He actually lives in Queens in New York today. I'm not sure if he's still alive, but that's where he lived. That's where he eventually moved to, the dad, basically, as such. But I'm looking at this here, and I'm saying, look, this is a picture. This is the only one of the only few pictures they've got of the three of them together. So this is the girl's grandmother, the daughter's grandmothers, those two daughters. This is Sarah and Kathleen's, right? This is their grandmother, and that's their grandfather there, all right? Now, there might be a few other pictures in here. Let me just see. That's him with his mom. That's his mum. That's him. Statue of him. That's him and his father. That's his father. Lived in the USA. This man here, I'm not sure, and he's an actual preacher as well. Can you believe that? His father is an actual, Cecil Paris is an actual preacher. All right. I'm not sure what type of Christianity he's preaching, but I'm just showing you that. I mean, that's the spirit though, really. That's his father when he was in the service, right? That's Thin Lizzy when he was a young boy growing up in Ireland. That's him with his daughter. Look at that. No, she's got to be an Edomite. She's got to be an Edomite. Oh, she's an Israelite. She's an Israelite, from what we can tell. All right. And then there's another picture here. Hold on, I was going to show you of his dad. Oh, here you go. So that's his father. He's a CEO of Dream Team Ministries. I'm not sure if he's still alive. His name is Cecil Paris. That is Phil Lynott's father. All right. This man here is the grandfather of these two girls here, and the great grandfather of their children. Just to show you. Now I was reading this as well, right? I tell you, Jake, there's got to be there definitely got to be Israelites, right? Where was it? Kathleen, I got it here. Hold on, let's see if I got it here. I was reading the story of how the mother met the father, right? No. Celtic Life International. So this is an Irish newspaper or magazine, right? Mother and son, all right? So this is Philomena. This is Phil Lynott's mother telling the story of how she met his dad, all right? So I'm just going to read a little bit of it just for you to see, right? That he's definitely a Jake, right? Definitely a Jake, the dad, right? Philomena Lynott has enjoyed popular celebrity in Ireland and the UK for years. A gifted public speaker and best-selling author, she is esteemed as the sweet, straight-shooting mother of Phil Lynott, Dublin-celebrated Black Irishman's vocalist with the unmistakable voice. Songwriter, bassist, and frontman for the 70s rock band Thin Lizzy. Lynott is revered for having penned one of the most memorable rock anthems ever. The boys are back in town. Absolutely. A stable of both FM radio and sporting events around the world. However, like her son's brilliance but brief music career, one that produced more than 20 UK singles from more than 10 hits and albums in just 15 years, the 82-year-old Philomena is a relative unknown outside of her native environs, right? It says here, with the 2012 book release of My Boy, right? She wrote a book about her life and her son. The Philip Lynott story, hot press books, now available via online. North American music fans finally have access to the #1 bestseller that sat atop the Irish literature charts for 9 weeks in 2011. So it says here, My Boy, which is the book that she wrote, right, is a strikingly honest review of the rock star's childhood, rise to fame, and tragic death in 1986, as told through the experiences, perspectives, and opinions of his mother. It was a charmed life, she writes, played out between traumatic events, the hardship of his birth and upbringing, and at the other end, he's wasting away through a drug habit because he died of a drug overdose and sepsemia, right, which is poisoning of the blood. So it's Philomena's own inspiring story of triumph, which is the mother, right? One filled with its own myriad misfortunes, begins in Birmingham, England in 1948. So she's a 17-year-old single white female away from home, which is Ireland, at nursing school. So she was a 17-year-old away from home at nursing school in Birmingham, right? This is Phil Lynott's mother, right? Thin Lizzie's mother. She accepted an invitation to dance from Cecil Paris. Cecil Paris is the father, is Phil Lynott's father. She accepted an invitation to dance from Cecil Paris, a tall black man from British Guyana. Returning to her chair, right, after she accepted the dance from Phil's father, first time she ever met him was in this dance hall in Birmingham, right? She had danced with him. After she had danced with him, she returned into her chair. She was shocked to find herself rejected by her girlfriends and later roughed up outside the dance hall by 2 male friends. She said, I could not understand what was supposed to be so dreadfully wrong. Philomena writes vividly, Indeed, how could I have refused a man who had walked the length of the dance floor to invite me to dance? He's a definite Jake, because only Jake's going to do that. So the father walked the length of the dance floor to ask this Irish woman who he's never met to dance, right? So she says here, how could I have refused a man who had walked the length of the dance floor to invite me to dance? In my eyes, to have done so would have been an act of extreme rudeness, right? It says, so she said if she had refused him to a dance, she would have felt so bad the fact that he walked the length of the dance floor to ask this Irish woman, right, for a dance, right? This so-called white woman, right? The young woman could never have imagined that the controversial dance and others with Cecil in the weeks to follow, so she kept on meeting him up at this dance hall, and they was getting together at this dance hall in the weeks to follow. She said she could not believe or could not imagine that the controversial dance and others with Cecil in the weeks to follow would lead to a truly blessed event that would change her life, an Irish and rock music history forever. So her accepting that dance from Cecil Paris and meeting him week after week at the dance hall, and they continued to dance until they formed a relationship. She said she could never believe. She said she could never believe it would lead to a truly blessed event. She said that would change her life and Irish and rock music history forever. Little did I know it then, but he was to become the father of my son Philip. Neither could Philomena have envisioned the drama she soon after faced, raising a black child secretly and alone in the 50s. The scrutiny was enough to force her to send the infant to Dublin to be cared for by her own mother. So because of the scrutiny of the racism in the United Kingdom, she sent her son to Ireland, to Dublin, to be raised by her mother and her father. She says, in the book's printing, which includes new chapters and commentary, Philomena confesses to hiding 2 enormous secrets. Then it goes on to about other things in her life that she went through her life. So I'm not going to read all of it. I just kind of wanted to get to that point there just to show you, all right, how she met the father. So once I say again, we don't judge a person by their color. We judge them according to the spirit, all right? And everything about that man, the dad, tells me that he's an Israelite, all right, from British Guyana. The fact that how he met the woman, said that's a Jake. Only a Jake would walk the length of a dance floor to ask a woman he's never met, all right? So-called Edomite woman he's never met for a dance. And that led to them having a relationship and giving birth to Phil Lamont until we see his granddaughters today. And you can imagine what his great-grandchildren look like, right? If they are married to so-called Edomites that we don't know. All right. But just to show you, people look at them and say, oh, they're Edomites. They're Edomites. No, no, no. These two lovely, pretty girls here are Israelites. 100%, I believe they're Israelites. All right. Just going by the event that took place for their grandfather when they met their grandmother in that dance hall tells me that he's a definite J. So this is why the Lord's coming to separate the wheat from the tares, right? Wheat from the tares. Hold on. I know it's Matthew 24 or Matthew 13. Yeah, there it is. This is what the Lord's coming to do, all right? Where is he going? You, Miss RBW, the reliable black woman, you ain't going to separate the wheats from the tares because you ain't got a clue. You so-called black women, right, that behave like this, that have the spirit of a demon on you, you need to sit down and find your corner because you yourself might be a Edomite.
A descendant of Israel. They have white people in their camps reading, thinking that they are a part of Israel.
Like the brother says, let the woman learn in silence. Silence. Let's quickly grab this precept here. It says here, the Lord is coming to do this, all right? It says, let both grow together until the harvest. The harvest is the second coming of Yahweh Shai, salvation. And in the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares. So you better be careful that you're not a tear, darling, all right? That disgusting BS that's coming from your mouth, that you have no understanding of the scriptures. Just keep silent. Shut your mouth and find your corner because you don't know, right, which one of these so-called white people are Israelites and which are actual Edomites, right? What we do know is that the majority of these so-called white people will be Edomites and that there will be many Israelites mixed amongst them. But we're not just going to see a so-called white person and judge them on their appearance without trying the spirit first, like what you do. It says here, gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them. So you better pray that you're not a tear, let me tell you. But gather me the wheat into my barn, all right? That's separating the wheat from the tares. This is what the Lord has come to do. The tares explained. It says, then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came in unto him, saying, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, all right? The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, the elect. But the tares are the children of the wicked one. The tares are the children of the wicked one, are the Edomites, all right? Like I said, you better pray. Sorry, where's she gone? You better pray, my dear, that you're not an Edomite. You better pray that you're not an Edomite. You coming here with your BS that you're trying to bring to the table. Just keep silent, darling. Keep silent. We don't want to hear from you. It says, the field is the world and the good seed is the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, the second coming of the Yahweh Shai. And the reapers are the angels. You better pray that those reapers ain't coming for you, baby. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of the world. Right? The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all the things that offend and which do iniquity. And right now, you are definitely someone that offends the Lord, Yahweh Shai, the 12 tribes charts, and the elect of the children of Israel. You are a great offender of this truth. Let me tell you. All right? He says, the Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who has ears to hear, let him hear. All right? All praises and glory to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All right? Because like I said, it's all about Romans 8 and 16. We try the spirit. I believe it's Romans 8 and 16. And we're going to finish it here. Romans chapter 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So when I read the story of this man and how he met their mother, all right, Phil's mother, when she said that he came, I mean, come on, man. It says, when she said this, indeed, how could I refuse a man who walked the length of a dance floor to invite me to a dance? In my eyes, to have done so would have been an act of extreme rudeness. All right. So when I read the story of how he actually met his wife, all right, Phil Lynott's mother, the Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. Only a Jake truly would do that, would have the front and the guts and the balls to walk the length of a dance floor in a strange country that they've been scattered to and see a so-called white woman. She's Irish, so she could be an Israelite herself, the mother, right? We just don't know. Many of those Irish go back to the children of Israel, are Israelites, right? He's walked the length of a dance floor. He saw this Irish woman across the dance floor and he's asked her for a dance. She's taken his hand, she's danced with him, and then she continues to meet him week after week in this dance hall until they form a relationship and they bear a son whose name is Phil Lynott. And then he goes on to marry another so-called white woman, Edomite, and he bears 2 daughters, so forth and so on. All right. And if the children then are heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. All praises and glory to Yahweh by Shem, Yahweh Shai, by Sham, Rekah, Kodash. I do believe that they are Jakes. I do believe that the father is a Jacob Israelite, along with the son. So will their children be. If they are married to Israelites themselves, their children will be Jakes and so forth and so on. What they look like doesn't determine if they are Israelites or not. Simple as that. So, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises.